Egypt presidency buys new plane for $500 million, triggers controversy.
Here's a summary of the article.
The Egyptian president has purchased a new presidential jumbo jet at the cost of $500 million, triggering fierce debate on social media over the timing of the purchase, which comes amidst a severe economic crisis. Egypt has acquired a Boeing 747-8 aircraft, seen last week in Shannon in Ireland, where it was undergoing painting work by International Aerospace Coatings. The website revealed that the 747-8 jet would become an Egyptian executive aircraft, taking SU-GGG registration. Egyptian media reported the deal to buy the Boeing 747-8 aircraft at almost $500 million, while the Egyptian presidency counter stated that it does not need such a plane. Egyptian journalist and MP Mustafa al-Bakri condemned the reports about the purchase as propaganda of the Muslim Brotherhood. Egyptian expert of constitutional law Noor Farahat said that Egyptians would accept the narrative of al-Bakri should he prove his claims by providing the public with a report from Boeing about the expiry of the presidential plane, as well as details about the purchase of the new one. Red. Pollution erodes fish stocks and livelihoods in Egyptian lake.
This post received a score of 5,000, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Considering that the government is constructing a new capital in order to distance themselves from Cairo's teeming slums, this headline comes as no surprise.
Corrupt dictator building a giant palace away from the capital so they can live in luxury and get away from the poor starving masses. Sounds like a modern version of Versailles.
It also just sounds like Egypt for the past 7,000 years. Shit don't change?
Like when Akhenaten moved the capital from Thebes to Amarna.
Classic Akhenaten, am I right?
Only 1340 BC kids will remember this.
Counterpoint. Boeing has had such terrible commercial success with the 747-8 model that few have been built, meaning that Egypt is buying a collector's item. Those only go up in value if you keep them in the box, though.
Don't take it out of the box.
As it turns out, Boeing literally had it in storage for most of a decade as they tried to find a buyer for it. The aircraft was built as a test aircraft, prototype, so slightly different than a production aircraft, and was intended to eventually be delivered to Lufthansa. Lufthansa however rejected it because it was overweight and thus didn't meet performance guarantees. Additionally, being a former prototype means that it was not exactly the same specification as the production aircraft, thus making maintenance a bit more difficult.
So just another terrible investment by another struggling country?
I wonder if there was also controversy when they spent multi-millions to put on a light show to move the mummies 3 miles to another museum during pandemic.
No, because that was an orgy of national pride, not a clear sign that Sisi was going to be another pharaoh like Mubarak. I think that new capital city away from all those poor people they are planning is the real indication of pharaohistic intent. The most important thing to both of them was that the people of Egypt can go fuck themselves. Too true. The attitudes of Egyptian leaders have been incredibly constant over centuries at least.
Pharaoh Sisi.
Is the plane to be some sort of sarcophagus?
Didn't know Boeing was an expert on Airbus assessment.
Ruling class being ruling class.
Consider a little more. They have a 28-year-old plane that Boeing said they wouldn't support past 2023. They still can sell that plane. A government like Egypt needs a plane to fly around to summits and meetings. I am not saying this isn't a poor choice, but the price tag might not be that big. The question is, how did they use the old plane and did it really justify purchasing this new one? Which no one is reporting on.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.